Good morning, everybody, and welcome again to another Jewel from our Jewels. We all look forward to these every Thursday. The last few weeks we haven't had one, and I just feel like my life's not the same without them. I just love having this little tidbits of jewels from these jewels that we have. Today we have a very special one, Kristy Hull, and we met in Hawaii 2 years ago. And it's been a blessing. That I love this couple. If you haven't watched her Diamond documentary yet, you need to go watch it because her and her husband have been through a lot. And Kyle is an amazing man of faith, and he is just doing amazing with his journey. And anyway, I'm not going to waste time anymore. I'm going to turn it over to Diamond Ambassador Kristy Hull from Arkansas.
Yes. Hey, y'all. Well, thanks, Cindy, for asking me to be on, and thanks to all of you guys for jumping on, and those of you who are going to watch it recorded later. That is the first, I guess, like the first thing I always tell people, like, if you want to grow in this business, if you want to go to the top, then you're going to get on every call possible, and you are going to watch every video possible, because even 3 years in, and as a diamond, I feel like every time I'm on a call, every time I'm at a meeting, people say stuff differently, and something might resonate with me that I've heard 100 other times somebody else say it, but the way Cindy says it might be the one time that it actually is like a light bulb moment. So thanks for getting on. That is key in building your business. So I'll give y'all my story really quickly, and then we'll go into my top tips. So I started in Plexus about a little over 3 years ago. So last month was my 3-year Plexiversary. And I actually got started from a cold message that Rebecca had sent me 4 months prior. And I really had no intentions of ever doing this. I told her to send me the information because I can't tell people no, but I didn't look at it. And like a good ambassador, for 4 months, she would follow up with me every month and say, hey, girl, I wanted to check in and see if you'd had a chance to look at it yet. And, of course, every month I had to make up an excuse as to why I hadn't looked at it. And I guess around the end of October, I started seeing people that I personally knew from back home taking the products and having that amazing success stories that she had told me about. And then a couple of different people that I had known from high school as well that were doing the business side and having success. So I finally one day sitting at my desk, I was like, maybe I should actually look at the stuff she sent me. And so I just decided on my lunch break on November 11th, 2013, that for $34.95, why not go for it? Because if something was to come of this, I would totally want to kick myself in the behind for just blowing it off and thinking that it was another one of those things. And I'll say I only joined for the business. I wasn't interested in the products because at that point she had only told me about weight loss, and I really didn't need to lose weight, and I was super fit, super healthy at that time. And so it took me a couple months to get familiar with the products and start taking them myself. And when I started taking the probiotic and the BioCleanse X Factor, I was like, oh my gosh, these products are amazing. It's not just about weight loss. And so it's kind of a perfect timing for me. I did start posting as soon as I signed up, but I didn't start really reaching out to people and posting consistently and every day until January. And so, that's coming up for everybody. It was a new year. People had New Year's resolutions, getting healthy, losing weight, bettering their finances on the brain. And so for me, it was kind of a perfect storm for me to sign up right before then, kind of dip I had my feet wet, and then I jumped in full force at the beginning of the year. And my big goal with Plexus when I signed up was that if I could be making $500 a month by the end of my first full year with Plexus, that I would feel like I had hit the jackpot. Because, y'all, that's about how big my mindset was to the possibility with this, because I had done network marketing before for a very brief period of time. And I just kind of had that mindset that the only people that get to the top are people you never know. They're just the few and the far between, and it doesn't happen for everybody. And little did I know that Plexus was going to change that, because our products are amazing and our comp plan is totally different than anything else out there. And so in January, I think I made like $780. And I was like, oh, I hit my big year goal. So I guess I better dream a little bigger. And I just decided to go for it. I told myself, Kristy, if you're going to do this, go all in and do it. Like, don't halfway do it because you want to see if this is going to work. And so I continued to work my very demanding full-time job that I had been at for about 10 years, and pretty much worked my Plexus business in the nooks and crannies of my day. So on my hour to and from drive to and from work, I would, listen to videos, voice message people. I love the voice message feature. When I would get to work, before I walked into the doors, I would make my, my Plexus post, on my Facebook page, and then maybe on my team page. And then on my lunch break, instead of going out and browsing stores, I worked my Plexus business. And so at a year into the company, I was able to hit Emerald and earn that trip to Hawaii, earn my free car, and continued working my business, stayed at my full-time job. And 2 months after that, so January of 2015, I hit Sapphire. And 3 days after I hit Sapphire was when my husband's accident happened, and our world completely stopped. We were in the hospital for 47 days. I didn't go back to my full-time job because he literally was, the first 13 days, he was fighting for his life on life support. And then we had a long road of recovery for us. He ended up losing his arm. And so I knew that I literally had to nurse him back to health. I had to be there for him to do, he couldn't even walk. Like, he had to relearn to walk at day 38, I think. And so for me, I felt secure enough that, okay, I could stay at the hospital with him and not have to choose, do I need to go to work because how are we going to pay all these mounting medical bills that are coming in and our normal house payment and car payments that we had, or do I stay here? And so because of Plexus, I was able to work my business from my phone. That was kind of my, a lot of people could have maybe used that time as an excuse and said, well, I need to pull back and I've just got this other stuff going on. But for me, it was kind of an outlet. Like, it's just a lot of mental stuff going on when you're going through that, and emotional stuff. And so for me, that was a way for me to just get outside of that. But I also knew that it was our livelihood at that point, and I had to make this work. And so continued to work our business. We came home in March, and I did go back to my full-time job for about 2 days in April, and quickly realized that my anxiety was back up. I didn't want to be in that position anymore. I didn't want to work there. I didn't want to have someone hovering over me. And so I officially resigned from my full-time job of 10 years where I owned part of the company on April 21st of 2015. And 7 days later, April 28th, I hit Diamond, the top rank of the company. And so that was a full 17 months into my journey. I pretty much I did work full-time up into 15 months, and then I would consider taking care of your husband while he's in the hospital for 2 months a full-time job too. And so I always tell people, if I can do this, I'm an introvert. I'm from a tiny town of 282 people. I had a very busy job. Like I said, I drove an hour to and from work. I had a very demanding job. Had a lot of responsibility there. And then I had a major life event happen to me, but I still did this. And that is because I was passionate about the products. I shared with people. I shared my heart. I shared my passion. And I let those people see that this could change for their life as well. And so for us, Plexus, when we started, was just retirement money, fun money, maybe buy vacation home money, because we really didn't need the quote income. And I had always told Rebecca, my sponsor, that I wanted a passion why, like all these passion whys you hear people talk about. And I think it was around day 30 in the hospital, she texted me. She said, I think you've got that passion why, Kristy. And I was like, I know, right? And so I 100% feel that God put Plexus in my life in 2013 when I didn't even know why I really said yes. I felt that I needed to say yes because he knew what was to come for us in 2015. And he was, taking care of us for the future. And so Plexus to us has been a godsend. It's been a complete blessing. And our life would totally look different if we did not have the products in our life. They've helped my husband so much, and the business opportunity. I mean, we're just about a month shy of his 2-year rec anniversary, and he's still, I mean, we still have open wounds. He still possibly has to have another surgery next month. And so, you know, this is like a lifelong, like we call it our new normal. And that would just be really hard to deal with and comprehend and grow with if I was having to work an hour away and then take off all the time and all of that. So Plexus can be that same blessing then for you. And I really do feel like that the Plexus opportunity is there for everybody for the taking. If you want it, you can have this. And your journey might not be as fast as mine or as fast as other people's, but it still can happen. I have people all the time that their husbands even have told them, why would you give up? Like, you're a teacher. Even if it takes you 3 years or 4 years to get to Emerald, your teaching job is never going to pay you over $100,000. They're never going to give you a car. They're never going to send you to Hawaii. Like, it's 3 to 4 years is such a short time span in the reality, as opposed to working 40 years in a corporate job, and then you're retiring, and then you're still on a limited income and a budget. And so this opportunity is real, and it's here for the taking. And I'm super excited about the new year. I hope y'all are too. I feel like with every new year, it always brings tons of possibilities, tons of opportunities, lots of new people into your business. And it even brings tons of inactive people and inactive, ambassadors and customers back, because the new year always has people focusing on, okay, this is going to be the year, 2017. Maybe I said it last year, but this year for sure, this is the year. And they get inspired again. They get excited. And so you want to be, especially with this 60-day trim up thing that came out. I'm not going to lie. When I was listening to the call yesterday, my mouth, when they're like calling out the prizes, I was like, what? Like, my mouth kept dropping more and more, because I was like, that is crazy. Anybody that doesn't want to be a part of this and doesn't want to like push yourself for 60 days, you're crazy. Like, if your health goal and one of your focuses is to lose weight and get healthy in 2017, then you need to be a part of this. And so I'm having my people, and I'm doing it too. I always tell them, I'm never going to ask y'all to do something that I'm not going to make myself do. I'm having all of us reach out to any of our customers or any of our ambassadors, active or inactive, that we've had, like I've had the last 3 years, and I'm telling them about this 60-day trim up, talking to them about what products they should take, because you never know. Like, it might take you a little bit of time to do this, but what if you get 3 or 4 new customers back and they have these amazing results, and then they want to stick with it? Or you get ambassadors, and then they have people that are seeing them, and so then they start growing a team, and this is somebody that was never even interested before. And so you really need to use this 60-day trim up to build your business back, get people motivated again, and get them inspired. And so some of my biggest tips that I wanted to give you guys, number one is go for business builders. When you are building your business, when you are talking about the opportunity, you need to talk about the business. If you're only talking about the products, which our products are awesome, they're amazing. If you're only talking about the products, then you're going to have a team of wholesalers, okay? And yes, we have to have wholesalers. Like, I've got wholesalers. I feel like you have to have a category of wholesalers, and then people that tell you they want to work it, but they just kind of dabble. And then you've got your workers. You have to have all 3 categories to get to the top. But you really want business builders. Business builders are going to help you get there faster. They're going to keep that momentum up for you. They're going to keep you inspired and excited, because that's the fun. When I see other people sign up and they want it as much as I want it, and they're pushing themselves, and you're seeing them get excited when they got 5 new ambassadors sign up in 1 week. That's the fun. And that's kind of what keeps you motivated. For me, that keeps me excited, and it kind of reminds you, okay, this is why I'm doing it. Like I'm helping somebody else change their life. And so go after those business builders. I don't know, Cindy, if you have shared it's the Whitney Ward video on, she talks about if you only talk about the business, or if you only talk about products, you're going to have wholesalers. And if you talk about the business, you're going to have business builders.
Can you send that to us?
I will. That is a great video. And it was really eye-opening to a lot of my team members because they'd never thought about it like that. And she does a great job on the video. So I will send that to you. So go after business builders. Don't be afraid to talk about the business. I feel like a lot of times people think because they're not an emerald or a sapphire or a diamond that they don't really have a big testimony. And y'all, I'm here to tell you, if you are a silver or not even a silver and $100 has changed your life or $200 has changed your life, that is a story. That people relate to that. I feel like I probably talked more about the business and put it out there on Facebook from when I was a silver all the way up to senior ruby than I do now, because I kind of feel a little uncomfortable talking about the money now. But people relate to that extra $200, $300, $400, $500 a month up to that $50,000. That seems more doable for people too, because when I signed up, like my goal wasn't to be a diamond. I didn't think, like, my big goal was $500. And I guarantee you, if you interviewed 10 people and said, hey, if you could have a goal, like what would your month income, like what would you need extra? 8 out of 10 people are going to say $500. For some reason, that $500 is the sweet spot. And so that is life-changing. Maybe you've been able to take your family on a vacation that you never could have. That's a testimony in itself. People relate to that. Maybe your air conditioner broke and you didn't have to dig into your emergency fund. Maybe you were able to get new tires on your vehicle. Those are relatable. I mean, there's a girl in Arkansas. Her name is Ryan Evans. I love her story. She was a plexus hater, a plexus skeptic. Jessica Heffley, she had celiac disease, and Jessica Heffley knew that these products could change her life. So she gifted her the triplex for 1 month. She saw results and she got on it. And when the day that she signed up to do plexus, I think she had like 7 cents, or maybe she even had a negative bank account. I don't know. But she couldn't even buy groceries. Her baby was up in the middle of the night, right, and she had no more formula left for him. Like, this is a true story. She puts it out there. She's so real. And she said, I knew that I had to do something. And so, like, her very first, like, her big accomplishment was for her to be able to go to the grocery store and buy 2 full buggies of food and say, now I don't have to worry about my 2 sons waking up in the middle of the night or getting up from the couch in the afternoon and not having food in the house. And so those are relatable. If you have any stories like that, the small stories are what sells. So that's a business. That's a business testimony that you can share. Okay, so talk about the business. I'm going to send y'all the Whitney Moore video. The next one is make it as personal as possible when you're talking about plexus. Not everything has to be personal to you, but at least once or twice a week minimum, throw in there what it's doing for you. And y'all, it doesn't have to be a picture. It doesn't have to be a long story. You know, a lot of times if I pick up my nieces and nephews from school, I'll kind of throw in there, you know, picking up, sitting in the car line. Would never be able to do this. Thankful for my plexus freedom. Something simple like that. I'm not saying, like, you know, I'm not blasting out their plexus, you know, allowed me to stay at home and pick up these kids. But people know, if they followed me, that for 10 years, I worked in Little Rock, an hour away from where my nieces and nephews were. I could have never taken them to school or picked them up, and now I'm able to do that. And so just small little stories like that. If you slept good and you've not been sleeping good, but you're on the probiotic, like, you can make a 1 or 2 statement sentence, and people see that. Like, they might not like it, they might not comment on it, but they are remembering these little things that you're telling them. And your audience is following your Facebook page because they love you and they like you. They like to see what you're doing, and they want to know what it's doing for you, okay? People that you sign up connected right away, okay? Connected to you, connected to your upline, and get them connected to even some of your teammates. If you sign up 3 or 4 people within the same couple weeks, it's always good to, like, put them in a chat group or a thread, introduce them, and that way they can kind of work this business and kind of help each other, hold each other accountable, and cheer each other on. a lot of times people join Plexus just as much for the connection and for the camaraderie and for the friendships and the relationships as they do for other stuff. I had a girl in Houston. She's been on my team probably for a year and a half. She had never really wanted to work the business, and she messaged me on Halloween and said, okay, I'm ready to work the business. I want to do a phone call with you. And so when I did a phone call with her, she said, I want to have what y'all have. She said, I saw all of those pictures from Leaders Retreat, you know, all the fun y'all have and just the friendships you've made. And so, yes, she would love the business opportunity, and she has great success on her product. But she wants that friendship. Like a lot of times, I mean, she's a mom where her husband works in the oil field. She's stuck at home with 3 babies. Like, I sometimes call Plexus like a grown-up sorority, but without the drama and without the hazing and all of that. And so you want to get people connected right away. I feel like the more that people are connected, the harder it is for them to give up so quickly and to leave, okay? Because they're going to feel like they're a part of something, and it's going to be harder to let that go. Okay, number 4 is to always, always, always be growing your friends list and adding to your friends list, okay? And so until you have 5,000 friends maxed out and you have to start deleting people so you can add new people to build relationships with, then you are not maxed out. Here's a couple different places where you can find on Facebook friends to add. So we all know about the suggested friends list, and that's the one that everybody knows about, and that's the most common. So what I'll do is, if it says there are suggested friends and we don't have any Plexus people in common, then I will send them a friend request, okay? And I always write down who I send a friend request to so that I can start nurturing that relationship, liking their posts, commenting on their pictures and stuff like that. And then I don't personally message them right away about Plexus. I give it a couple weeks, and if they haven't reached out to me about it because they've seen it, then I will do a cold message. And then the other place to look for new friends is in groups. And no, not your Plexus groups. So be thinking. I want you to write down like 5 different things when I'm talking about this, or just make a note that you need to write down 5. So think about what your common interests are or your hobbies are. So maybe you like photography. You know, maybe you're like Cindy, like her family loves to go on exotic hunts. They're big gamers. Maybe you're a football fan. Maybe you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. Maybe your husband is in the military. Maybe you're an oil field wife. Maybe you're a single mama. Okay, think about those things. Like, think about ways you would describe yourself. And then what you do is you write those down, and you go to your search bar on your Facebook, and you just type in Dallas Cowboys, you know, exotic hunting trips or stuff like that. All of these different pages are going to drop down, okay? And so what you do is you join several of those pages, and you don't get in there and you don't blast Plexus because they'll kick you out. But what you do is you start making relationships in there. You start interacting, and then you friend people, okay? Kristen and Jarrett Abart, this is how they have gotten a ton of their rock stars. Eva Schmidt, she's the very first diamond in Canada, and Kristen found her in a Facebook group just like this, okay? They swear by this. They say it works. So I've been telling my people to do this, I guess, since almost the last year. And we found a lot of, I've gotten several new level ones from this. Now, some of these people they're not going to be like your family or your friends that maybe jump on board right away. Like, this might take, you know, a couple months of nurturing and commenting and then even messaging back and forth with them. But the building their relationships, that's what's going to get you these people. And so always tell people, it doesn't take hundreds of people or hundreds of rock stars to get you to the top. If you can find 1, 2 to 3 people that want to work it like you, then you're going to get yourself to the top, because then they're going to go find those 1 or 2 or 3 people. And so think about it. You never know when that very next person you sign up, that very next relationship that you're building, when they are going to be the one, okay? The one that is the game changer in your business. And so that's why you've got to keep adding to your friends list, adding to your friends list, and always kind of funneling in new people. because you want to find that one. And you can kind of be that one for yourself as well, but you still need somebody besides you, because you got to have those outside leg points. And so keep doing that. And then my fifth tip is going to be cold messaging. If you are not cold messaging, if you're not reaching out to people, then you are missing out on so much potential. You're kind of letting somebody else dictate your business. I feel like when you cold message, when you reach out to people, you're kind of in control of your business. And yes, people are going to ignore you. They're not going to write you back right away, but you're still planting those seeds. If you're just posting on Facebook all the time, yes, you need to be doing that, because that's planting seeds as well. But me and Rebecca tell our team all the time, okay, say you're only posting on Facebook, okay? And one of your friends that you haven't reached out to, but they've been seeing your Plexus posts, and somebody else that's doing Plexus on their newsfeed happens to reach out to them, and they tell them how awesome they are, why they would be good at this, and about the opportunity. Well, they're going to think to themselves, oh, I saw Amanda posting about this too. This must be right. But then they're going to write that person back that wrote them. So you kind of end up being somebody's third-party validation through your Plexus post if that's all you're doing, okay? So you want to be the one in control of your business. You want to be the first person that's reaching out to your people. And I promise that if you don't reach out to them, there's somebody that is. Like I said in the beginning, I'm a product of a cold message. Rebecca, my sponsor, was a product of a cold message. They work, you guys. I've gotten a ton of ambassadors from cold messaging. And I'll tell you, if Rebecca had not cold messaged me, I would not be doing Plexus, because I had seen her stuff but had not paid it any attention. I had swore that I would never, ever, ever do network marketing again. So I dang sure wouldn't have approached her about it, because I was not interested at all. And so I feel like a lot of times we're so scared to reach out to people because we're worried what they're going to think about us. Are they going to respond? Like, what are they going to say? And they're probably just as scared to reach out to you. Like, there might be someone that is genuinely interested, but they're telling themselves, well, Julie is good at this, but I could never do it. And so they've probably psyched themselves out of messaging you. And so this is going to be my last tip about cold messaging, is when you message somebody. Okay, especially about the business, if you were messaging them and you got their name on your list, there is something, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that has made you think, I want that person on my team, and this is why I know they'd be good. Maybe it's because you know they're an influencer. Maybe it's because you know they've got a big network, or you know they're trustworthy and people follow them. Maybe it's somebody that you just know that they need the income. I've even used before a girl on my team. She's a closet mom. She loves to shop for kids' clothes. And she had a big following on Facebook. She was active on social media. But she was a teacher and her husband was a coach. And I would just all the time watch her and say, I don't know how she buys all these clothes and they're not like bankrupt, because she buys the expensive stuff, you know. So when I wrote her, I told her that. I said, you know, you're active on social media. You've got a big following. And I know that you would love that, some extra income to be able to buy your kids some clothes. And so I tell people, when you message somebody, you need to lead with that. You need to lead with you're breathing belief into people. So you're telling them why they would be good at this. And I promise you, if you have their name on that list, there's at least 2 or 3 things that have made you write their name down. So tell them that, because think about it. As women especially, we're our own biggest critics about how we look, what we wear, what we can do. And so they might be watching you and thinking, that's awesome. Like, Cindy is killing it. I'm so proud of her, but I could never do that. Because they don't see the good that people on the outside see. They don't see those qualities that we know that it takes to do this. And so you have to tell them that. So I always lead with that. And then in a 3 or 4 sentence, I really quickly kind of like tell really briefly what it's done for me and say, would love to send you some more information, get you on the phone call, something like that. And I've had great success with that. Rebecca does the same thing. it's just, breathing belief into people and telling them why they could do this. Because I think that's a lot of times people's biggest holdup is they don't believe in themselves. And so I'll answer any questions if anybody has anything.
I have a comment
on any of
I love how you explain the cold messaging, because cold messaging to some are different to others. And I loved how you explained that the cold messaging is us doing research on that person before, knowing what they have. It's not a generic send out this cold message that some people think of. And that's what I've been trying to tell my team in a way. It's hard to explain it, but you have to have a relationship, and so they know that you care about them, and it's just not like a random thing. So
you have to always relate it to them, make it personal to them. I mean, if you can tell really quick, you've gotten them from other companies, I'm sure, those generic things, and I feel like people look at those and they feel like, okay, well, that's been sent to 100 people on her list. Like, I'm just a number to her. But yes, when you make it more personal, you do research, you tell them why they would succeed with this, what the qualities they have, then that takes it to a totally different level.
Yes.
And that's what one thing Rebecca always says. People are always like, well, can we see an example of your cold message? She's like, I will shoot you over what I have, but I want you to know that not one of my cold messages looks the same. They're all different, because I have watched that person, I've nurtured this relationship, and this is what I want to tell them.
That's so true. That's exactly what I've said these 3 years that I've been in it. People have wanted me to write them out for them, and I'm like, you don't understand. Every single one is different.
Yeah.
So, anybody else have a question for Kristy? Come on, throw it out there. Here's a diamond. Don't be nervous. Anybody? You just did so well in explaining everything.
Oh.
Well, thank you again for spending this time with us. I took 2 pages of notes.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah. So I just love learning from you and hearing. It's so cool, because a lot of this is stuff, just like you said, we talk about it, but when it comes from someone else, it's just such a nice validation and helps everyone here. So we thank you very much, and we're really excited about 2017, and hopefully these guys can meet you like at convention or something.
Yes, come look me up.
Yes, thank you.